Hi, everyone, and welcome. How to Thrive in Leo Season. Thank you for joining me today. I am your astrologer core. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I intend to empower, enlighten, encourage, and inspire my audience on how best to navigate the Leo season. This video will share the sun's ingress into the sign of Leo, which occurs on Friday, the 22nd of July at 10:07 p.m. South African Standard Time and ends on the 23rd of August at 5:16 a.m., which is when the sun moves into the sign of Virgo. I reside in South Africa, thus I use the South African Standard Time. Therefore, please adjust for your time zones. Deduct an hour if you're in London, deduct 6 hours if you're in New York, 9 hours for LA, add for Sydney 8 hours, and for Bali 6 hours. Leo's behavioral expression is characterized by a natural radiance as a fire sign, resulting in an affirmative, dominant attitude and positive expression. Fire is the energy of life and spirit, transformative, self-motivated, self-centered, concerned with the question of self-identity and action-orientated. Leo's keywords are, I create. A strong will spurns their creativity as they radiate great warmth, light, and generosity. Leo is the sacred flame on an altar, honoring a person or a moment, showing love, being the hearthstone in the home, a bonfire at a celebration, containing burning and glowing coals in a campfire, keeping everybody warm. As a fixed sign, actions are firm and consequential, although personal in perspective. Loyalty, constancy, solidity, and a parental controlling nature can be imposing. Simultaneously, Leo persons are not very receptive and exhibit some abruptness and impulsivity. Leo rules our heart, back, and spinal column. Leo teaches us to shift from our minds to our hearts. Leo opens the door to be aware of our inner world so that we operate from our hearts. Core in Latin translates to the English word heart. Our back spinal column are where the muscles that hold us up are attached, also known as the core. The core of any matter is the part of something central to its existence or its character. Cordial spirits are the vital substances flowing through the body relating to our health. Cordial meaning warm-hearted and heartfelt. Leo is a masculine sign, choleric, and ruled by the sun. The sun adds brilliance, power, majesty, magnificence, glory, and awe-inspiring, splendid, regal, dynamic, and bright radiance to Leo's personality. The sun creates 98% of the light in our universe and is the center of the solar system, providing life and vitality to us here on Earth. As an inner planet or luminary, the sun affects us personally. Look to the house your sun resides in your chart and the place and houses it rules to understand how you shine your heartfelt leonine light into the world. If you are a sun in Leo, self-expression in a noble and warm way is of utmost importance to you. If your moon is in Leo, you are warm-hearted and dramatic. If it's your ascendant, you may be controlling and creative with a Leo ascendant. Let us look to the sky to see what the month of Leo season has in store for us. To get the most out of the forecast, look to your chart to see where the transiting planets activate your natal chart. If you are new to astrology and you do not have a chart yet, please go to astro.com and draw up your free chart there. The month of Leo begins with a continued backdrop of Saturn retrograde at 23 degrees of Aquarius, Pluto retrograde at 27 degrees of Capricorn, and Neptune retrograde at 25 degrees of Pisces. On the 28th of July at 7:54 p.m., the Leo new moon at 5 degrees and 38 minutes of Leo invites new intentions and offers the energies of the beginnings of the innovative Uranus and bullish Mars in Taurus and North Node triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. at 18 degrees of Taurus. Note, if you have any fixed signs in your chart between 10 to 26 degrees, you will feel this more. Also, on the 8th of November in 2022, later on this year, we have a total lunar eclipse at 16 degrees of Taurus, entrenching what begins now. Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. to go retrograde on the 29th of July at 10:38 p.m. Therefore, this new moon also carries the energy of the Jupiter trine and station, beginning reviews of all matters related to travels, teaching, wisdom, belief systems, philosophies, religion, and higher tertiary studies. And it does this with ease as we review these during the upcoming 4 months until Jupiter on the 24th of November 2022 turns direct again. On the 4th of August at 8:58 a.m., Mercury ingresses into its sign of dignity, Virgo, where rational, witty, insightful, and practical communications take the forefront. On the 11th of August at 8:30 p.m., Venus joins the Sun in the sign of Leo, allowing unrestrained expressions of love to shine. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle with a full moon. We will be fine-tuning the Aquarius Saturnian retrograde opportunities to reflect upon all restabilizing, restructuring, disciplining, and reauthorizing that the changes the Mars, Uranus, and North Node conjunction brought us, which squares this full moon. On the 20th of August at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins a 7-month and 6-day-long journey in the sign of Gemini, only ending again on the 25th of March 2023. During this time, he retrogrades from the 30th of October 2022 until the 12th of January 2023. Now I will discuss in general how best to use these cosmic energies for all 12 signs during the Leo season. Timestamps for these are in the description below. When listening to the forecast, look to your ascending sign for the more prominent influence of your interaction with your immediate environment. Look to your sun sign, especially if you are a day born, for an outward yang expression of your radiating light and confidence into the world. And look to your moon sign, especially if you are a night birth, for your receptive, reflective, internalized, subjective, emotive, reactive expression of self and all matters related to home, family, nurturing, mothering. Thank you to the late Dutch painter Joffre Boschart, whose The Zodiac series artwork I displayed during the 12 sign forecast. If you enjoy the video content, please consider hitting the subscribe and like buttons to avoid missing out on any future videos. Welcome, dear Aries, to the Leo season forecast. For you, the season brings in a lot of joy and bliss in the area of your life that relates to expressing yourself, to having fun, to romance. This is where you can bring in a lot of action and firm and consequential personal perspective into your life. This is where you can show your loyalty and your constancy and how you are solid. This can also relate to children if you have any, or any new projects that you're starting. There's a sense that there's a transformative energy of fire that is life and spirit to you. It's as though your core being wants to be creative and giving in a warm-hearted and heartfelt way. You will be incredibly self-motivated, self-centered, and concerned with your question of self-identity. There's a sense that you have a strong call, that you are willing to stand tall, be proud and confident in all matters relating to expressing yourself, creating, having fun, going on holidays, entertaining. You will infuse regality and brilliance, majesty, magnificence, glory, and awe-inspiring ways in how you express yourself. There will be a natural sense of radiance and warmth and light and generosity. This giving of yourself will be like gentle burning and glowing coals, keeping everybody warm and contained. And it's very important that you shift your focus from your mind to your heart, and that you are aware of your inner requirements to experience joy in self and express of yourself and operate from your heart. A word of caution, you may come across as parental or controlling or even imposing, and you may struggle to receive love because you're so busy giving, and you may come across as a bit abrupt and impulsive in the dealings around all of these expressions that you'll be sharing with the world during the Leo season. On the new moon, which is on the 28th of July, there's an invitation for you to set new intentions. You want to take some time out to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop a little so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into this new cycle of the next new moon. Now, the emphasis for you, dear Aries, is very much related to your self-confidence and your finances that are linked in with this, your self-worth, your self-esteem, and sorting out matters related to all your investments or any possessions that you own. Mercury is conjunct this new moon and therefore will aid you in expressing yourself, or at least in thinking or writing about any new intentions that you may have. So this is a time for you to rest and think and reflect and observe what this new moon offering has in terms of its energies that relate to your expression around your finances and your self-worth and your confidence. Now, there are innovative Uranian beginnings and changes that are illuminated during this time, and specifically around your finances and your self-worth. There's a sense of a great awakening. Mars is very bullish in the sign of Taurus. It doesn't want to change anything, but at the same time, it feels like it needs to move forward in this area of your life. Mars in Taurus is like the earth warrior, maybe any possessions that you own that are tangible will assist you in continuing the changes as you catapult your way forward in your evolution. Also, the North Node is in this area of your life that relates to your finances and your self-worth. With the North Node here, this shows that this is your future destiny to gain in this area of your life. You want to have more finances. You want to have more self-worth and confidence around all matters related to what it is that you own. And this will very much come to a head around the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. There's a peak of the North Node and Mars and Uranus all in this area of your life, beginning a fresh start for you. This is a time where this is happening, by the way, at 18 degrees and 42 minutes that we have Mars and Uranus and the North Node all in conjunction on the 2nd of August. And it's like a sense of like a crescendo of change or surprises, or a sense of liberation or rebellion or individuation, even a sense of uniqueness, doing things in your own unique way, a sense of innovation, and maybe even new technology will present itself in matters related to how you manage your finances and your self-worth. There'll be a sense of X-ray vision accompanied by a mini war required to push such great awakenings into fruition in this area of your life. This energy is initiating the bedrock of a new foundation of your destiny and your future, because the North Node is here in this area of your chart in Taurus. So prepare for a karmic event that will set the tone for the next 18 years. I saw a graffiti recently which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing this upcoming rebellion within each of us around the 2nd of August. And it read as follows: the Great Reset. However, the word reset was crossed out and replaced with the Great Resist. And it continued to say, the Great Resist, they will own nobody and they will be unhappy. And for me, this is a sense that you may feel that nobody will own you financially, that there's a sense that no bank or company that loaned you money or people that you owe debt to, there's a sense that you want to break free and be independent and look after your finances and your self-worth in a new way, whereby you're not giving your happiness to somebody else who's running the show. It's almost as if you're taking back your own power, your own individual uniqueness in how you're managing your finances. So we have also Jupiter going stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. to go direct on the to go retrograde on the 29th of July at 10:38 p.m. And this is occurring for you in an area of your life that relates to your personality, your physical body, your health, and how you radiate out into the world. So this new moon is also carrying this energy of this Jupiter trine and going station. And what this is allowing you is to begin reviewing how it is that you deal with wealth, how it is that you take on board any teachings you receive from others. How do you deal with wisdom? Do you enjoy traveling? What belief systems have you got? What philosophies, what religion do you believe in? Is there any higher tertiary studies that may assist you with this new individuation and this new birthing forth of your inner light and joy? And this Jupiter retrograde continues until the 24th of November 2022 before it turns direct again. So you have an opportunity between now 27th of July until 24th of November to review your inner guru-ness. How is it that you are relating to this and connecting to this? It's about digging deep to find your inner wisdom and your inner wealth. Even the finances that relate to you is what creates how you feel expanded and liberated. we have on the 4th of August at 8:58 a.m., we have Mercury entering this practical side of a witty, rational, insightful domain of communications in the sign of Virgo, which for you is falling in an area of your life that relates to all matters to disease, your day-to-day routine, and how you are of service to others. It may also relate to pets if you have any. So here there's a sense that you can get on top of things in a very pragmatic way, and you can communicate in a very practical way and get anything of this nature sorted out with ease and very swiftly. We then on the 11th of August at 8:30 a.m. have Venus joining the sign of Leo as the sun moves through Leo this month. And this allows you to shine your emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expressions of love. And here also be aware to also be receptive of receiving love and not too impulsive of purely just giving. However, you will be really tempted to be buying big bunches of flowers and creating art or dance or however it is that you express love from yourself. This could even include pregnancies. If somebody's looking to fall pregnant, this would be a great time to fall pregnant. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle with the full moon. And this is when matters always come to a head and they culminate. There's a sense of illumination regarding matters that were started at the last Aquarius new moon, which was on the 1st of February 2022. For you, dear Aries, this regards very much to how you relate to society, how you relate to groups of friends and people. This is where you would exhibit your humanitarian nature, how it is that you want to help many persons. There's a sense of idealism and also rebellion involved with this. And there's a sense of following your ideals through visualizing your hopes and dreams. So during this full moon on the 12th of August, you will have this opportunity to fine-tune the Aquarius Saturn, which is retrograde at the moment, opportunities, because Saturn is at 22 degrees of Aquarius and the moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius in this full moon. So this is an opportunity for you to reflect upon all restabilizing, restructuring, disciplining, and reauthorizing the changes that the Mars, Uranus, and North Node conjunction are activating in your financial area of your life as it squares this full moon. Remembering that the North Node is in this area, squaring, saying this is your destiny to gain more self-confidence and more finances, so go for it. Aquarius has a sense of knowing everything. There's a sense of it being idealistic or opinionated or freedom-loving, even responsible and stubborn. So this is how you will be reacting to matters related to society and the group and to your friends in a rather scientific, rebellious, and liberating way during this full moon. To balance out receiving all this love from groups of people and from society at large, it also relates to the income that you earn. There's a sense of stabilizing that. You will be balancing out the sense of how much am I giving towards others, giving love of myself, and how much am I receiving from others. So be aware of that on the full moon. And how does this tie in with the income that you're earning, the finances that you're receiving, the finances that you manage, and the self-confidence related to that? To Aries, and thank you for joining me today. I wish you a very sacred and special Leo season. Take care. All the best. Dear Taurians, thank you for joining me today. Welcome. So the Leo season for you is highlighting everything to do with home, family, place of living, relocating, buying property, selling property, expanding property. There's certainly a lot of emphasis on family, home, and the paternal family line of ancestry, roots, and genetics. And this very much also relates to your inner unconscious that you'll be connecting with during this time. Perfect time to sort out matters around home and family. This is where you will find that you are creating the hearthstone of a home. Through a very positive expression, there's a sense that you're very action-orientated around matters mentioned, that you're very firm and consequential, also very personal in perspective. There's a sense of loyalty and constancy and solidity around home and family. There's a sense of transformative fire energy of life and spirit, a very creative sense of connecting with your core being in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way. You're self-motivated, self-centered, concerned with your question of self-identity in regards to your place of living, in regards to your place within the family. There's a sense that you have a strong core, you're standing tall, and you're proud and confident in all matters related to home and family and place of living and relationship with Father and your ancestors. You can infuse regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, and glory, as well as awe-inspiring ways into your home and family life. There's a sense that you are radiating natural warmth, light, and generosity in these matters. There's a sense that you're keeping everybody warm like a contained, gently burning and glowing coal within your home. It's important to shift your focus from your mind to your heart during this month and be aware of your inner world as you operate from your heart while you're sorting out all matters related to home and family. A note of caution, you may come across as parental or controlling or even imposing within the family. And you may also not be very receptive in exhibiting, forgive me, you may not be very acceptive in receiving love from others at this time as you exhibit abruptness and impulsivity regarding matters around home and family. Now, the new moon, which occurs on the 28th of July at 7:54 p.m. at 5 degrees of Leo, invites you to set new intentions regarding a home life. It's important for you to take out some time and rest and reflect on the 28th of July, recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct to the new moon and therefore will aid you in expressing or at least thinking or writing about your new intentions. So you may rest and think and reflect and observe what the new moon offering has in store for you. And here, for you dear Taurians, there is a lot of energy about being innovative and Uranian as you begin and change and illuminate the great awakening within you. Bullish Mars is in your sign of Taurus. It doesn't want change, but at the same time, it wants to move forward. It's the earth warrior dealing with practical matters and all that is tangible. And it will assist you in continuing the changes that you've taken upon you as you catapult your way forward in your evolution. The North Node is also in your sign, dear Taurians, and this is giving you opportunity to create your future destiny. Where the North Node is, there is more of us, and this is relating to your personality, your persona, your health, how it is that you shine out in the world. There is a sense of moreness. I want more of my own individuation, and it's beckoning you and preparing you for this triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus and the North Node are all conjunct in 18 degrees of Taurus, your sign. And this builds up to a crescendo of changes, surprises, the sense of liberation, rebellion, individuation, the sense of awakening your uniqueness. Any new technology that will aid you in this may be present. There's a sense that you have this X-ray innovative vision accompanying a bit of a mini war that is required to push such great awakenings into fruition. They are initiating the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny and future with the North Node at 18 degrees and 37 of Taurus. So prepare for a karmic event that will set the tone for the next 18 years of your life. I saw a graffiti which described the fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing the upcoming rebellion within each of us on the 2nd of August. And we'll feel this a week before and a week after. And it read, the Great Reset. However, the word reset was crossed out and replaced by resist. In other words, it read the Great Resist. And it continued to say they will own nobody and they will be unhappy. And there's a sense that this part of yourself that you're letting go of may be unhappy. However, if you allow that to own you, you will not be free. So there's a sense of don't let the old version of you own you. You will be unhappy if you do this. Let go of this old version. Let that old version be unhappy and drift into your past as you move forward and you resist going back to the old from a comfort and ease perspective. It's always difficult to grow when we go through challenges. However, this is really a fantastic time for you to connect with the great awakening within you. Jupiter is also going stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. and to go retrograde on the 29th of July at 10:38 p.m. And this is part of the new moon as it carries the energies of the Jupiter and its station. And this is an opportunity for you, dear Taurians, to begin reviewing all matters related to the ending of a cycle. This is where we deal with losses and letting go of matters that are ending in our lives. This is where you're connecting with your subconscious and welcoming what your soul is calling you to do. This is the area in your life where you self-renounce the material world so that you can connect to your spirit and to your soul. So this is a time for you to review all matters related to travel in spirit, travel in person, all matters related to who are your teachers, what are you learning from, what is it that they've taught you so that you can let go of outdated ways. This is related to your inner wisdom, your belief systems, your philosophies, your religions, any tertiary education that you may be doing, any studies that you feel, anything related to maybe feeling isolated and removed from the world that you've known. There's an opportunity between the 27th of July until the 24th of November, which is when Jupiter turns direct again, and you can take on board the reflective time that you've had to study a little bit more about this for yourself. So as of the 4th of August, all the way through to the 25th of August, Mercury enters its sign of dignity in the sign of Virgo. And for you, dear Taurians, this very much relates to having fun, dealing with children, expressing yourself, giving love of yourself, going on holiday, being romantic. This is the fun, easy, creative house. So it does deal with dealing with children, but also with sports. So for you, dear Taurians, being pragmatic, witty, rational, insightful, practical in the domains of communications in this area of your life will flow with ease during 4th to 25th of August. On the 11th of August, we have Venus also shining its emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expression of love in all matters related to home and family. And again, be aware also to be receptive and not too impulsive, yet you will definitely be decorating your home, and anything to do with home and family will receive a lot of love from the 11th of August onwards. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle, which is the full moon. And here matters come to a head, things culminate, other matters are illuminated. And this is very much related to the new moon on the 1st of February, 2022. And for you, dear Taurians, this very much relates to your career, your vocation, your status out in the world. If you're not employed or you don't have a business, then it's about your actions out into the world. It's what you profess to do in regards of shining your light, being out in the limelight. Now, Saturn is within 3 degrees of this full moon, and he is retrograde, and this brings an opportunity for you to reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, redisciplining, and reauthorizing all the changes that came into your life with the Mars, Uranus, and North Node conjunction, which is squaring this full moon in regards to your career and how you shine out into the world and what your reputation means. With Aquarius, there's a sense of knowing everything and being very idealistic and opinionated, but also freedom-loving and responsible and stubborn. And there's a sense that you want to help society and the group. Friendships related to your career and how you shine out in the world are related to people who are very scientific or rebellious or very liberating in some sort of way. So there's a sense of wanting to balance home and family life, as well as reaching out in your career. And this is going to be your challenge on the full moon. How do you balance both? And how does this allow you, your individuation, your sense of uniqueness, your sense of great awakening and flourishing? Thank you, dear Taurians, for joining me. I wish you a very sacred and special Leo season. Take care. Bye for now. Dear Gemini, thank you for joining me on this Leo season forecast, which begins on the 22nd of July and runs through till the 23rd of August. This time sees you expressing yourself in a very positive way. You're very action-orientated with everything to do related to writing, reading, communicating, working with siblings or neighbors, or other business matters. This is a very business-related thinking, writing, talking, teaching time for you. And you will be very action-orientated and firm and consequential and very personal in your perspective. There's a sense of where can you be loyal and constant and solid in these matters, as well as there's a sense of a transformative fire energy of life and spirit, a very sense of core being and a very creative way in which you want to, in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way, communicate, teach, deal with your neighbors, your siblings, and all matters related to paperwork and filing, even matters related to short-distance travel. There's a sense that you're very self-motivated and very self-centered, and you're concerned with your question of self-identity in terms of how you teach and communicate, or do your daily commute or short distance travel, or how you deal with your neighbors and siblings. There's a very strong core whereby you feel like you can stand tall and proud and confident. You are infusing regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, and glory, even awe-inspiring ways into this area of your life. There's a sense that you are creating very natural radiance and warmth and light and generosity. It's as though you're keeping everybody warm through this contained, gently burning and glowing fire that you are sharing, like as though you're a coal for people to warm themselves with your words that you are sharing. It's important that you shift your mind to your heart and connect with your inner world and operate from your heart throughout this month. Be aware that you may come across as parental or controlling in your nature, and that this could be imposing. And also remember to be receptive, because you may exhibit some abruptness and impulsivity with all of your enthusiasm. The new moon on the 28th of July at 5 degrees of Leo invites you to set new intentions. It's about taking some time out to rest and reflect, recharge your batteries, and stop so that your angels can catch up with you to guide you in the matters discussed: communications, teaching, your neighbors, siblings, etc. Now, Mercury is conjunct this new moon, and therefore it will aid you in expressing your new intentions, or at least you'll be thinking or writing about them. So it's a time for you to rest and reflect and observe what the new moon offers for you. And it's very important that you take some time out for yourself, whereby you may want to retreat and feel a little bit isolated. It's very important for you to connect with your soul and the spiritual world and the angels. There's a sense that by renouncing the material world and stepping away, where you can remove yourself from all of this, that there's a sense of a new beginning. Uranus is activating this for you. There's a sense that there's a need for a change. There's a sense that there's a great awakening around realizing that a cycle is ending. There's a sense of loss, of wanting to let go of something that no longer serves you as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution. Mars is bullish in the sign of Taurus, and he's the earth warrior, and he's assisting you to move forward. And the North Node, which is your future destiny, is beckoning you to connect with soul and spirit, to let go of, to experience the loss, to close up a cycle so that you can renounce this world that is material and connect more to the spiritual. And this comes to a head all on the 2nd of August at around 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus will be at 18 degrees and 42, while the North Node is at 18 degrees and 37 of Taurus. That this builds up to a crescendo of this change. There's a sense that you're surprised. You feel liberated. You even feel like a rebel. There's a sense of individuation and uniqueness that you feel, a sense of innovation, and perhaps even a new technology may present itself to you. It's though you have an X-ray vision straight into the core of your soul, and you want to connect with spirit. And this is best done when you are on your own and taking some time out. And it is accompanied by this little mini war that is requiring you to push such great awakenings into fruition. It's not coming easy. You may have to work hard and fight a little war so that you can have this time alone. This is initiating, or let me say the planets are sharing the energy of initiation, which becomes the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny and the future, which is what the North Node is putting you towards. So prepare yourself for a karmic event that will set the tone for the next 18 years of your life. I saw a graffiti which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing this upcoming rebellion within each one of us. And it read, "The Great Reset." So there's a sense that this is a great time to reset. And it's important to resist going back to the old ways, because there you were unhappy and you felt like you were owned by a part of yourself that is holding you back. So there's a sense that you want to resist this. That's why Mars is there. He's resisting and he's saying, I want to liberate myself and move forward. Dear Geminis, Jupiter is also going stationary on the 27th of July, 10:39 p.m. to go direct on the 29th of July, 10:38 p.m. Therefore, this new moon also carries the energy of the Jupiter trine and station. And for you, dear Geminis, this is an opportunity for you to review or to begin to review, because this retrograde lasts all the way until the 24th of November, 2022, how it is that you relate to the teachings of society or groups or friends, how it is that you have wise friends within your society, their belief systems, their philosophies, their religions, any higher knowledge or wisdom that comes through, or even matters related to the income that you earn, because Jupiter for us is gains. And this is an opportunity for you to review and reflect upon all of this, beginning on the new moon of the 28th of July and running all the way through to the 24th of November. We have Jupiter retrograde. On the 4th of August all the way till the 25th of August, a very short period only, Mercury enters its practical, pragmatic, witty, rational, and insightful domain of communications. in the sign of Virgo. And for you, dear Geminis, this is very much related to matters around home and family. This is any renovations, anything practical that you need to do, discussions in the family around living, matters related to the father figure, to your roots, to your ancestry, will flow really smoothly, and you'll make great strides during the 4th of August through to the 25th of August. On the 11th of August, Venus also joins in the sign of Leo. For you, we are back to communications, teaching, expressing this, and you'll be doing this shining in a very emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expression of love. You may want to write or teach or communicate, or you may show a lot of love to a sibling or neighbor. Remember also to receive love and not to be quite as impulsive or too impulsive during this time in terms of expressing your love. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the full moon, which is the peak of the lunation cycle. And this is where things come to a head, things culminate, things are illuminated. And these are matters that started on the 1st of February of 2022. And they very much regard matters for you relating to foreigners, foreign travel, tertiary education, teaching, counselors, wisdoms, belief systems, gurus, philosophies, even matters related to the law. And you will be fine-tuning this energy because Aquarius is ruled by the sign of Saturn, and Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius within 2-3 degrees of this full moon, and he is sending us the energy to reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, and disciplining and reauthorizing all matters that these changes which Mars has brought into your life, the sense of an Uranus and North Node, that triple conjunction on the 2nd of August, that really is asking you to isolate yourself and retreat and close off cycles. And during the full moon, the Aquarian energies strengthened by Saturn is giving you this opportunity to restabilize this. Aquarius has a sense of knowing everything and being very idealistic and opinionated and freedom-loving and responsible and stubborn. It's very much relating to the society and the group and friendships that are related to scientific, rebellious, and liberating ways. And for you, this very much relates to foreigners or some sort of new philosophy or spirituality or belief system. And to activate this on the full moon for you, dear Geminis, is very much related to what is it that you're teaching, how is it that you communicate, and what is it that you're learning, and what philosophies. It's this balance between early education and tertiary education that you'll be thinking of around the full moon. Thank you, dear Geminis, for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful and blessed Leo season. Take care. Bye for now. Hey, dear Cancerians, thank you for joining me on this Leo season. I've just wrapped a scarf around me because it's very chilly here in Johannesburg today. For you, the Leo season, dear Cancers, is very much emphasizing matters related to your finances, your possessions, the things that you own, but also this relates to your self-esteem, your confidence, and your self-worth. You will be infusing this with a positive expression. There'll be a lot of action around these matters. You'll be very firm and consequential and personal in your perspective. There's a sense that you want to exhibit loyalty, constancy, and solidity. There's a sense that you want to transform like fire, the energy of life and spirit, and you want to, in your core being, be creative in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way. You are self-motivated, self-centered, concerned with your question of self-identity in regards to your finances. There's a strong core. You're standing tall and proud and confident. You will be infusing regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, and glory in awe-inspiring ways to such matters. And there's a sense that you want to create a natural radiance, warmth, light, and generosity. There's a sense that there's a contained, gentle, burning, glowing coal within you that wants to keep everybody warm. It's important that you shift your focus from your mind to your heart and to be aware of your inner world as you operate from your heart. You may experience that you're feeling very parental and controlling in your nature and very imposing regarding these matters. And it's important that you also are open to being receptive and be aware that you may come across a bit abrupt and impulsive regarding your finances and your self-worth. Now, the new moon on the 28th of July is at 5 degrees of Leo, and it invites you to set your new intentions. This is a time to take a rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you and advise you how best to deal with these matters before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct the new moon, and this will aid you in expressing, or at least thinking or writing about your new intentions. So it's a time for you to rest and think and reflect and observe the new moon offerings of energies. The square from an area of your life that relates to your hopes and dreams and wishes. It relates to society at large, groups of people and your friends, and as well as the income that you earn. There's a sense that there's great innovation and Uranian new beginnings and changes that are illuminating a great awakening within you. Bullish Mars is in Taurus, the Earth Warrior, and it assists you in continuing the changes as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution with brand new, inspiring friends, or friends who are awakened, who are innovative. The North Node, which is your future destinies in this area of your life, and it beckons you to prepare yourself for this triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus are at 1:54 a.m. on the 2nd of August, and the North Node at 18 degrees 37 of Taurus. So this will be a crescendo of changes and surprises, liberations, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and even friends that have new technologies may present. It's as though you have an X-ray vision accompanying you with a mini war regarding to pushing yourself towards groups of people or friendships or hopes and dreams and ideals that relate to a great awakening for you as it becomes fruitful and ripe. This energy is initiating the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny and the future. And prepare for yourself that there will be karmic events around this time and they will set the tone for the next 18 years. I saw a graffiti recently which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing the upcoming rebellion within each of us, and it read, "The Great Reset." And it mentions that with you resetting yourself, that there's a sense of happiness as you release yourself from the old groups of friends or the old hopes and dreams that you have had up until now. On the 4th of August until the 25th of August, Mercury goes into its sign of dignity, and it will allow for you to communicate very well in a very practical, pragmatic, witty, rational, and insightful domain. This could relate to teachings, matters related to siblings, your immediate environment, short distance travel will flow with ease. Then on the 11th of August, we have Venus also joining this area of your life that relates to your finances, your self-worth, how you're proud of yourself, how you manage your finances. And this will allow for you to be very expressive in your love regarding finances. There'll be this dramatic, exuberant, demonstrative way of expressing this. You may purchase something and spend a lot of money. You may be proud of your savings. That I can't say, but there'll certainly be an energy around matters related to your self-worth and to your finances. Be also aware to be receptive and not just be giving of yourself, and then also not to be too impulsive when it comes to shopping. We have also got Jupiter, which on the 27th of July was stationing to go retrograde on the 29th of July, which accompanies the new moon I was discussing. And it therefore influences the new moon. And for you, dear Cancerians, this is very much around reviewing. It's a beginning phase of reviewing up until the 24th of November, 2022, all matters related to your career. There's a sense that if you don't work, then it's related to your actions out into the world, your status, your reputation. And here you will be reviewing if travel is part of this or not, what teachings are involved in terms of these matters. Is there any wisdom, any belief system, philosophy, religion, or higher tertiary studies that are required for you to expand your wisdom regarding your actions out in the world, that which you profess to do, or in your career? On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle, namely the full moon. So here matters will come to a head. There'll be a sense of culmination and an illumination of that which you began on the 1st of February 2022. And this very much relates to matters that may give you anxiety or worry. There's a sense of grief or fears, traumas, all the taboo things, the things that we are afraid of that are very much related to receiving resources from other people. So this could be related to a bond from the bank. This could be related to an inheritance from another person. This could be related to receiving finances or spiritual or emotional support from another. It's a rather churning area of your life. And with Saturn conjunct the moon at the time of the full moon, there's a sense that you'll be reflecting and having an opportunity upon restabilizing, restructuring, disciplining, and reauthorizing all the changes that you've experienced in regards to the friends that you have and your hopes and dreams and the income that you earn in the group of society that you connect with. And how does that relate to you having the sense of irrevocable change and instantaneous healing, whereby you want to release traumas and fears and anxieties? There's a sense of what are you giving to receive from others is very much the theme around this time. And Aquarius is the sense where you feel quite idealistic and opinionated and freedom-loving and responsible and stubborn around these matters. You want to help society at large in groups, and you want to have friendships with people who are scientific and rebellious and liberating some sort of way. So for you, the balance here is very much between what it is that you receive from others in terms of resources and what it is that you receive for what you've given. In other words, the monies that you have, the possessions that you own, your self-worth. And this ties into the groups of and friends that you connect with and the income that you earn through society. Dear Cancerians, thank you for joining me today. I wish you a very blessed and special Leo season. Take care. All the best. Bye for now. Dear Leos, thank you for joining me on this Leo season, which starts on the 22nd of July and ends on the 23rd of August. I'm wrapped up in warm pashminas because it is cold here in Johannesburg today. Dear Leos, for you, the Leo season has everything to do with you, your health, your personality, and how you radiate out into the world. So you might feel that there's an infusion of a lot of positive expression, that you're very action-orientated, firm and consequential, personal in perspective. There's a sense that you can highlight your loyalty and your constancy and your solidity, the transformative fire energy of life and spirit, your core being wants to, in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way, be creative. You're self-motivated, you're self-centered, you're concerned with your self-identity and the question of your self-identity. There's a very strong core present as you stand tall, proud, and confident in this time. You infuse regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, glory, and awe-inspiring ways into your health and your body and your personality. You create natural radiance and warmth and light and generosity. And you're very much contained like a gentle burning, glowing coal, keeping everybody warm. You will feel that you're shifting your focus from your mind to your heart and connecting to your heart. And you are very aware of your inner world and you're operating from your heart. You may come across as parental or controlling in your nature, or even maybe be a little bit imposing. And you may be aware that you're not very receptive and that you may exhibit a bit of abruptness and impulsivity during this time. Now, the new moon on the 28th of July for you, dear Leos, at 5 degrees invites you to set your new intentions. So the new moon is always a good time to take some time to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct this new moon, so it will aid you to communicate and express, or at least think or write about your new intentions. And it's a time for you to rest and think and reflect and observe what messages are coming through during the new moon offerings of energies. The square, with this very dynamic activity from the innovative Uranian beginnings and the changes illuminating the great awakening, is occurring for you in your career. There's a sense that your status in the world, your reputation, your actions out in the world, that which you profess to do, has a very kind of bullish nature with Mars in Taurus, the earth warrior. And it's assisting you in continuing the changes as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution. The North Node is here, your future destiny, and it is beckoning you to prepare yourself for this triple conjunction, which occurs on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus on the 2nd of August will be at 1842 of Taurus, and the North Node at 18 degrees and 37. So for all Leos and all fixed signs, if you have any planets between 15 and 21, you will feel this very strongly. There's a sense that there's a crescendo of changes occurring, surprises, a sense of liberation, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and any even new technologies may be present in regards to your career, your professions, your actions out into the world, your status, your reputation. There's a sense that there's an X-ray vision accompanying a bit of a mini war, while you're requiring yourself to push such great awakenings into fruition. This is an initiation as the bedrock of the new foundations of your destiny, and prepare for karmic events that will set the tone for the next 18 years. I saw a graffiti which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing the upcoming rebellion that we're all going to be experiencing around the 2nd of August. And it read, "The Great Reset." And the idea here is that nobody will dominate who it is that you are. Nobody will be in charge. You will be free and unique and liberated in how it is that you resist the old so that you can awaken and reset the new. Now, Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July to go retrograde on the 29th of July, and thus infuses its energy, which it does through a trine to, and it's at station at the time of this new moon. So here for you, dear Leos, you are looking at and reevaluating up until the 24th of November. So starting 29 July to 24th of November, Jupiter, the planet of travel and wisdom and belief systems and higher tertiary teachings, philosophies, religions, consulting, is occupying such themes for you. You'll be reviewing foreign travel or belief systems or matters around law, etc. Your spiritual life will have an opportunity to be reflected upon before Jupiter turns direct again on the 24th of November. On the 4th of August until the 25th of August, Mercury enters the practical, pragmatic, witty, and rational, insightful domain of the communications in the sign of Leo, in the sign of Virgo. And for you, dear Leos, this very much relates to sorting out your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, and your finances. And this will happen very swiftly and very with a lot of ease and pragmatism. On the 11th of August, Venus enters your sign as well. So here you will shine in a very emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant, expressive way, giving a lot of love of yourself. And just remember also to be receptive to love and not to be too impulsive during this time. On the 12th of August, at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle with the full moon. And here matters come to a head, are culminated and illuminated regarding your marriage partner, your business partner, your best friends, your live-in lovers. Here are some matters that began on the new moon on the 1st of February in 2022 regarding relationships are being given an opportunity to look at how the Saturn retrograde allows, because it is within 3 degrees of this full moon, you the opportunity to reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, disciplining, and reauthorizing all the changes that Mars and Uranus and North Node have made within your career and your personal reputation, so that you can fall in line with your business partner, marriage partner. So there's a sense that Aquarius knows everything, is very idealistic and opinionated and freedom-loving and responsible and stubborn. This would be your partner. And that the partner wants to help society and the group. And the partner loves to be a friend and is also very interested in rebellious and liberating ways. So you will find this within your partnerships. On the day of the full moon, there is very much the imbalance that needs to be balanced out between your personality radiating out in the world and the energy that you receive through partnership. How much to give the partner, how much to give yourself. A nice balance of 50-50 would be the healthiest. Be blessed, dear Leos. Have a wonderful full moon. Thank you for joining me on this Leo season. Enjoy your Leo season. Be blessed. Oh, and also happy birthday, of course, to all of you, dear Leos. Take care. Be blessed. Bye for now. Dear Virgos, thank you for joining me on this Leo season starting 22 July through to 23 of August. Leo Sun transit for you, dear Virgos, very much is activating this need to retreat, to isolate, to move away from, to understand that a cycle is closing, to understand that we are not material beings, that we self-renounce the material so that we can connect to the spirituality of our life, connecting to angels, connecting to our subconscious, connecting to our soul. There may be loss that you may be experiencing. There's this need to reflect. There may be the sense that you want to do a lot of research and isolate yourself from the world so that you can research and perhaps connect to your soul on a deeper level. All the positive expression and action, which is firm and consequential and personal in perspective, will revolve around those themes I've mentioned. There's a sense of loyalty and constancy and solidity, as well as a sense of transformative fire energy of life and spirit. It's your core being in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way, in a very creative way, wants to experience this. You're self-motivated, you're self-centered, you're concerned with your question of self-identity as somebody who retreats and reflects and experiences loss and closes off cycles and wants to connect to the spiritual world. There's a very strong core, and you're standing tall and proud and confident in doing this. You're infusing regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, and glory, and awe-inspiring ways in these actions. And you're also creating a natural radiance, a sense of warmth and light and generosity, as you are keeping everybody warm from behind the scenes in a very contained and gentle burning, just like a glowing coal kind of way. Important here is to shift your focus from your mind to your heart and beware of your inner world and operate from your heart. There's very much the sense of being of service to others from behind the scenes. Be aware and conscious that you may come across as parental or controlling or imposing, and that you also are not very receptive at this time because you exhibit possibly even a sense of abruptness and impulsivity while you are going through this evolution. Now, the new moon at 5 degrees of Leo occurs on the 28th of July. And this will allow you to withdraw even further, because at the new moon, you really want to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct with you at the new moon, and it will aid you to express or at least think or write about your new intentions. So it's a time for you to rest, think, reflect, and observe the messages that you're getting through from divine spirit, the messages that you're hearing from your soul as you enjoy this new moon offering. For you, dear Virgos, there's a sense that a very innovative Uranian beginning and changes that illuminate the great awakening are occurring from you, from a source that is either foreign or philosophical or religious or spiritual, a source that may have some sort of tertiary education for you. There's a very strong connection to gurus and wisdom and philosophies and wise people and counselors. Bullish Mars in Taurus, which is the earth warrior, wants you to implement this on a practical manner. And he's assisting you in continuing the changes as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution. Continue learning about new belief systems and religions and matters related to travel and foreigners. The North Node is in this area. It's your future destiny at the moment, and it's beckoning you to prepare yourself for the triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. We will have at 18 degrees and 42 Mars and Uranus, and 18 degrees of 37 of Taurus, the North Node. And what this bodes is a sense of a crescendo of changes, surprises, liberations, rebellions, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and new technologies that present themselves. It's as though there's a sense of an X-ray vision accompanied by a mini war as you continue on this journey, requiring you to push such great awakenings into fruition. And this is initiating the bedrock of a new foundation of your destiny and future with the North Node here, and is preparing you for karmic events that will set the tone for the next 18 years of your life. There's a graffiti I recently saw which describes this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, and it symbolizes this upcoming rebellion within each of us. And it reads, the Great Reset. So may you reset and awaken in terms of your belief systems and your higher tertiary educations, or anything that a wise person or a guru is teaching you. Also, around this time on the 27th of July, Jupiter goes stationary to go retrograde on the 29th of July, all the way through to the 24th of November. And this allows and infuses the energies of this new moon for a beginning that reviews all matters related to where you have traumas and fears and anxiety and grief, where it is that you want to experience irrevocable change and instantaneous healing. It very much is infused with the sense of wisdom, belief systems, philosophies, teachings, travel within the soul. There's a sense of huge churning and growth occurring for you at this time. On the 4th of August through to the 25th of August, we have Mercury entering your sign of Virgo, and this will allow for you to be very pragmatic, rational, witty, and practical in terms of how you communicate and move. You may find you are starting a new physical activity, or your thinking is a lot clearer. You'll certainly have a way whereby you can stand up for what your needs are and what you need. Generally, Virgos are helping others and wanting to assist to others and be of service to others. And when Mercury is in your sign, it will assist you in a very swift way, and there'll be a very straight, clear, crystal clear kind of clarity in terms of how you go about also looking after yourself and being of service to yourself. Now, Venus then on the 11th of August also enters Leo, this allows you to shine in a very emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, and exuberant expression of love in a very behind the scenes kind of way. And here it is important for you to also realize that you can receive love and not to be too impulsive, to be working from behind the scenes where you feel like you may be a little bit isolated and want to be off the grid. You don't want to be in the limelight. Then on the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle, the full moon. And for you, dear Virgos, matters are coming to a head and culminating and illuminating. That started on the 1st of February of 2022. And they very much relate to how you are of service to others. It very much relates to your physical diseases, if you have any, or any staff that you employ, or any pets that you own. And here there's a sense of refinement because Saturn is in retrograde in Aquarius conjunct this moon, and it is asking you to restructure, restabilize, discipline, and reauthorize all these changes that were brought in from this conjunction of Mars and Uranus relating to your philosophies and belief systems. Aquarius tends to feel like they know everything. They're very idealistic, opinionated, very freedom-loving, responsible, and stubborn, and always want to help society and the group. And it is important to have friendships in terms of how you are of service to others that are very much related to being scientific, rebellious, and liberating. So this full moon for you, dear Virgos, very much shows us the balance between how you escape from the world and work from behind the scenes where you're not visible, and how it is that you are of service in your day-to-day routine to others, how it is that you balance any chronic ailments you have with any acute ailments that you have, how you balance caring for any larger animals if you have any horses or cows or as pets or as farm animals, versus how you look after any smaller pets that you have. It's that balance that you'll be experiencing, while you have the infusion of greater wisdom and insights in a philosophical and religious and spiritual way that will aid you on this full moon. Dear Virgos, thank you for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful Leo season. Take care. Be blessed. Bye for now. Dear Librans, welcome to the Leo season. For you, the Leo season brings a lot of positive expression and action orientation, firm and consequential and personal in perspective regarding to your friends, groups of people, society that you connect with, what your hopes and dreams are, and even any income that you earn. There's a sense of loyalty, constancy, and solidity that you will experience through your friendships and through your hopes and dreams. There's a transformative fire energy of life and spirit. The core being of who you are is calling in very creative, warm-hearted, and heartfelt groups of society and friends. These are people who are self-motivated, self-centered, and concerned with their question of self-identity. They have a strong core. They stand tall. They are proud and confident. And these friendships and the society will infuse you with regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, glory, and awe-inspiring ways. There's a sense that the groups of people and your friends and even the hopes and dreams that you relate to have a natural radiance and warmth, light, and generosity. There's a sense that there's a contained energy keeping everybody warm, very much like a gentle burning and glowing coal. And it's important that your friends and the groups of people that you work with teach you to move from your mind to your heart, to operate from your inner world and operate from your heart. You may find that some friends are coming across as quite parental or controlling or imposing. And simultaneously, you may recognize that persons are not very receptive to receiving from you, as they exhibit abruptness and impulsivity in their ways. Now, the new moon invites you to set your new intentions regarding these friends and groups of people. It's a time for you to rest and reflect upon your hopes and dreams, and upon the income that you earn. Recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct this new moon, so you will You're thinking of, writing of, talking about, expressing how you will connect with these groups of people in society. But most of all, you want to rest and think and reflect upon these messages as a new moon offering to you. There are big changes that you're experiencing. There's a sense of Uranian beginnings and it changes. There's a sense of great awakening as you liberate yourself in regards of how you receive resources from others, how you receive incomes, spiritual, emotional, physical resources from others. This could relate to a bond that you receive, an inheritance that you receive, a partner's money, a client's money, and what it is that you're giving out. What confidence do you radiate out into the world to receive from others? There's massive changes going through, and these catapult you forward in your evolution. The North Node, your future destiny, is in this area, and it's beckoning you to prepare yourself for this triple conjunction of North Node, Mars, and Uranus, which is exact on the 2nd of August. And here we have Mars and Uranus at 1842 degrees of Taurus and the North Node at 18 degrees 37 of Taurus. And there's a sense that a crescendo of changes, surprises, liberations, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness and innovation and new technologies will present themselves in terms of how you receive resources from others. There's a sense that there's like an X-ray vision accompanying any mini kind of war that you require to push so that the great awakening can come into fruition. This can relate to releasing traumas, looking at your fears. This can relate to instantaneous healing, to detoxification, getting rid of poisons in your body and in your system and in your soul. And this is initiating the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny in the future. And prepare yourself here for events that will set the tone for the next 18 years. There's a graffiti I recently saw which describes this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing this upcoming rebellion within each one of us. And it reads, the Great Reset. And I feel this is what's happening for you, dear Librans. You are resetting your self-worth in regards to receiving from others, in regards to opening up. The intimacy of allowing others to give to you is only possible when you've cleaned out all the blockages within yourself that are keeping you from receiving this. So resetting your own awareness is important at this point. Now, Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July and retrograde on the 29th of July. And for you, dear Librans, this is very much related to your partnerships, marriage partners, live-in lovers, any contracts you've signed with business partners, any very pivotal relationships to you in your life. And here begins the energy on the 27th of July, and this runs through the 24th of November, where you're reviewing the wisdom, the belief systems, the philosophies, the teachings, even matters related to traveling with a partner. As you look into the gains related to this, you are reviewing your partnerships in this instance. Now, on the 4th of August till the 25th of August, Mercury enters this practical, witty, pragmatic, rational, insightful domain of communications in the sign of Virgo. And for you, this is very much related to withdrawing from the world, connecting with your soul, connecting with cycles that are ending, connecting with the loss, realizing that the material world is not everything that we're made of, that we are spiritual beings, and acknowledging that through a lot of time spent with prayer, time alone. This is where you are of service to others from behind the scenes as you connect with God's energies, the angels' energies, the source, anything that allows your soul to awaken will be activated during this time. On the 11th of August, we have Venus joining the Leo party, which for you is occurring in an area of your life related to your friends. So you'll probably have groups of people, society, friendships that are incredibly demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant, expressing their love towards you. And you would want to be part of these groups of people. They may not even be receptive to you giving love. It's more like they just want to give love so that you can receive. And they may be quite impulsive too. Dear Librans, on the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle with a full moon. And for you, this is very much relating to the energies around having fun, going on holiday, giving love of yourself, being romantic, doing any sports, anything that's fun and gives you bliss and joy, which you began on the 1st of February of 2022. There's a sense that this is culminating and illuminating for you. And here Saturn retrograde is conjunct the full moon, and he's giving you this opportunity to restabilize, restructure, discipline, and reauthorize yourself around how it is that you have fun. And it is allowing for these massive changes that you're undergoing in terms of how you receive resources from others to find and settle therein, because these changes are big. And Saturn will assist you in creating more joy and bliss into your life with these new changes that you are experiencing. Now, Aquarius generally is very idealistic and opinionated, freedom-loving, responsible, and stubborn, and likes to help society at large, loves friendships, and is interested in scientific and rebellious and liberating ways. And this you will infuse in all matters related to how it is that you have fun. And the balance for you on this full moon, dear Libras, is regarding how much time do you spend with your friends, receiving love from others, receiving an income. How much time do you work so that you can receive an income? And how much time do you play and have fun and enjoy bliss and give love of yourself? And the full moon is asking you to look at this balance in your life. Thank you, dear Librans, for joining me. Be blessed. Oh, before I forget, also on the 20th of August at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins the 7-month journey in the sign of Gemini, which only ends on the 25th of March of 2023. And for you, dear Librans, this is occurring in a life, in an area of your life that very much relates to foreign, overseas, tertiary education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, wisdom, wise people, gurus. So there'll be a lot of activity for you in this regard. And this could be matters that give you power, dynamism, ambition, assertion, determination, courage, desire, bravery. There's a lot of energy, a lot of force, a sense of pioneering energy that is very curious and active and communicative, maybe a little bit scattered and changeable, but very expressive, and may even involve arguing with Mars being there. So enjoy this time of Gemini Mars transit in this area of your charts. Be blessed. Thank you for joining me today. Take care. Bye for now. Bye. Dear Scorpio, thank you for joining me today on this 22 July to 23 August Leo season video. For you, dear Scorpios, this time is very much related to the sun sending its Leonine energies down to your career, your position in the world, your status, your reputation, the actions out into the world that you have, your sense of highest form of self. There's a lot of positive expression here. There's a lot of action, a lot of firm, consequential, and personal in perspective regarding how you shine out in the world. There's a lot of loyalty and constancy and solidity that you're experiencing. There's a transformative fire energy of life and spirit. It's as though your core being is very creative and warm-hearted and heartfelt. There's a lot of self-motivation, self-centeredness, concern with your question of identity in regards of how you shine out in the world. How do you profess it, what it is that you do? What is your vocation? What is your career? There's a very strong core, and you stand tall and proud and confident in all matters at this time. You're infusing regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, glory, regal, awe-inspiring ways. And there's a sense that you're very generous and light and warm as you have a natural radiance at this time in these matters. There's a sense as though you're keeping everybody in the career, at your work, warm as you have this contained, constant, gentle, burning, glowing, warm coal within you. Important here it is to move away from the thinking mind and connect with your heart and be aware of your inner world, and your operations must all come from your heart. You may come across as parental and controlling and imposing, and simultaneously you may not be very receptive, and you may exhibit an abruptness and an impulsivity during this time. Now, the new moon on the 28th of July, 5 degrees, invites you to set your new intentions regarding the career, your actions out in the world. It wants you to take some time to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct to this new moon, allowing you to express or at least think or write down what your new intentions are. And it's a time for you to rest and think and reflect and observe the new moon offerings that this energy provides for you. Now, for you, dear Scorpios, this is very much related to the big changes that you are experiencing in regarding to business partnerships, live-in lovers, or marriage partners. There's a sense that there is this Uranian great awakening within partnerships, and bullish Mars in Taurus also in this area of your life. He's the earth warrior, assisting you in continuing the changes as you catapult yourself forward through these relationships. The North Node, your future destiny, is also in this area related to relationships, and is beckoning you to prepare yourself for the triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. We have both Mars and Uranus at 1842 of Taurus, and the North Node at 18 degrees and 37 of Taurus. So this is where there's a sense of crescendo of changes regarding relationships. There are surprises, a sense of liberation, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and new techniques will present themselves in regards to relationships. It's as though you have an X-ray vision accompanied by a mini war requiring you to push such great awakenings into fruition. This is the initiating of the bedrock of relationships that are the new foundation of your destiny and the future. Prepare yourself for karmic events that will last for up to 18 years. There's a graffiti I recently saw, which describes this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo in terms of relationships for you. And it symbolizes this upcoming rebellion, which you will be experiencing through relationships. And it talks about the great reset. Enjoy resetting your relationships and resisting the old status quo of how things were in the past. Now, Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July to go retrograde on the 29th of July. And this very much influences this new moon as well. And it does so for you, dear Scorpios, in regards to your day-to-day routines and how you are of service to others. It also relates to any diseases or illness that you have, or any pets or any pets that you own, staff that you employ, or work that you do for others. So here there's a time for you to begin reviewing any wisdom or belief systems or philosophies or religions or teachings that you are experiencing in this day-to-day routine and the services that you give to others or receive from others. And this continues through to the 24th of November 2022 and will infuse the new moon energies. On the 5th of August through to the 25th of August, Mercury enters the sign for you that relates to your friends and groups of people and your hopes and dreams and the income that you earn. And it will infuse this with a very pragmatic, witty, rational, insightful domain of communications. And there will be a lot of swift actions and practical support from friends and groups of people. Venus on the 11th of August at 8:30 a.m. enters the sign of Leo, which for you is very much related to your career. So there's a sense that there's a very demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expression of love. Perhaps you launch a new website, or perhaps you have some sort of presentation, or perhaps you're just overwhelmed with love and you want to demonstrate this for the career Or if you're not working, then it's your highest sense of self-worth and success out into the world, how you shine your light out into the world. And then on the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle with a full moon. And this is where something that you began on the 1st of February of 2022 in regards to your home, your family, your relationship to your father, your place of living, your roots, your ancestry, your inner unconscious becomes illuminated. It culminates and comes to a head. And Saturn retrograde, conjunct this full moon, is allowing you to restructure, reflect upon, restabilize, discipline, and reauthorize all matters related to home and family, especially those that are related to the recent new changes that you are experiencing regarding new partnerships, innovative, creative, great awakening types of partnerships. So there's a sense that in your home, you want to infuse idealism. You may feel opinionated and be very freedom loving about what it is that you like about home and family. There's a sense that you're responsible and stubborn, and that what you do in your home base as a family, as your inner core, your unconscious, as your roots, is something that likes to help the group. It's something that very much enjoys friendships with societies of people, and specifically those that are scientific or rebellious or liberating in some sort of way. So for you, dear Scorpios, the balance is very much related to home and family life versus shining your limelight out in the career and being successful, being an introvert versus being an extrovert. And these great awakening, new liberating kind of relationships that you're forming will help you with this balance. Dear Scorpios, thank you for joining me. Before I end off on the 20th of August, we have Mars going into the sign of Gemini, and this is starting on the 20th of August, as mentioned, and continues until the 24th of March, during which from the 30th of October until the 12th of January of next year, there's a retrogradation period. And for you, this is very much happening in an area of your life that relates to the resources that you receive from others, spiritual, financial, emotional, and physical. It is related to grief. It is related to fear and anxiety, but also to intimacy. When you overcome any blocks of fear that are keeping you from being intimate, when you release any traumas that are holding you back and keeping you fearful, you can have the sense of instantaneous, the phoenix arising from the ashes, sense of liberation and irrevocable change. There's a sense of working on how to receive resources from others and associating your self-worth with that. So this will be a long period of 7 months that you'll be experiencing these energies. Dear Scorpio, thank you for joining me. Be blessed and take care. Enjoy the Leo season. Bye for now. Take care. Bye. Dear Sagittarius, thank you for joining me on this Leo season. For you, the Leo season infuses a lot of positive expression, a lot of action and firm, consequential, personal, in perspective kind of view regarding your spirituality, your philosophies, your religions, foreign matters, foreigners, foreign travel, maybe the law, working with gurus and wise people. There's a sense that they are loyal and constant and solid. And there's a sense that these matters create a transformative fire energy of life and spirit, as though they activate your core being in a very creative, warm-hearted and heartfelt way. There's a sense that being motivated and concerned with your question of self-identity very much relates to these matters. There's a sense of that through philosophies and religions and foreigners and belief systems and wise people, there is a strong core of pride that stands tall and confident, that infuses your life. It is infused through regality and brilliance and majesty and magnificence and glory and awe-inspiring ways. This could be related to, for instance, travel and experiencing all these wonderful things. There's a sense that a natural radiance and a warmth and light and generosity is coming to you through wisdom, through a tertiary education, through spirituality, through travel to foreign lands. There's a sense that this is keeping you warm, very much like a contained, burning, glowing coal keeps you warm. And you are realizing that shifting from your mind to your heart is activating the spiritual connection. You may find that some spiritual belief system may feel a little controlling or imposing, or even that there's a sense of abruptness or impulsivity that comes with it, and that it's difficult for you to give back to these belief systems, as though there's no receptivity to your belief systems by these new belief systems that are fascinating you through their brilliance and through their glory. Now, on the new moon, which is on the 28th of July, there is a time for you to rest and rethink and reflect, and also to withdraw and recharge your batteries as you allow your angels to catch up with you when you stop before you gather and fill up that battery in advance and in preparation for the next lunation cycle. So the next lunation cycle for you, dear Sagittarians, is something that you can easily think about or write or communicate, because Mercury is conjunct this new moon. And here we have the sense that your day-to-day routine, how it is that you are of service to others, how it is that you employ other people who are service of you, how it is that you deal with any diseases you may have, or any pets that you own. There's a great sense of innovation and great awakening within this area of your life. There's massive changes. Bullish Mars is in this area of your life. He's the earth warrior, and he's assisting you to continue the changes as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution. The North Node is here, your future destiny, and it's beckoning you to prepare you for this triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus are at 1842 degrees of Taurus, and the North Node at 18 degrees of 37 of Taurus. And this is building up a crescendo on the 2nd of August that is the height of all the changes, surprises, liberations, rebellions, individuation, uniqueness, innovations, and any new technologies that will be presented to you in regards to your day-to-day routine, how you are of service to others, regarding your pets or anybody that you employ. There's a sense of an X-ray vision, which is accompanying like a mini war that is requiring you to push forward so that the great awakening can come into fruition. This is initiating the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny and future, as the North Node is bringing in karmic events that will set the tone for the next 18 years of your life. There's a graffiti, which I recently said, which reflects this bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing the upcoming rebellion within each of us on the 2nd of August. And it reads, the Great Reset. You are going through a great reset, and you are resisting the old ways so that you can make space for the great awakening of the new ways. Now, Jupiter is also going stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. and then retrograde on the 29th of July through to the 24th of November 2022. And for you, dear Sagittarians, this is allowing you the opportunity to begin reviewing matters related to children, or having fun, or giving love of yourself, or anything that gives you bliss and joy. And here you want to incorporate belief systems, philosophies, wisdom, teachings, higher tertiary studies, so that you can infuse this into how it is that you work with children, how it is that you have joy and bliss within your life. On the 4th of August until the 25th of August, Mercury enters an area of your life that relates to your career and how you experience personal success in your life, your reputation, your status out in the world, anything that is extroverted regarding your career and your profession and how you shine out in the world. And when Mercury goes into Virgo, it's very pragmatic and practical, witty, rational, and insightful. So this is a great time to negotiate all matters related to career. You'll pretty much get what you want, and Mercury is moving through there very swiftly. So from the 4th of August through to the 25th of August, you want to take advantage of that. Then on the 11th of August, we have got Venus joining up in the sign of Leo. And this is shining a lot of emotional, demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expression of love into the areas related to foreigners and foreign travel and foreign cultures and spirituality, philosophy, religions, higher tertiary education, counselors, and gurus. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle, namely the full moon. And here on the 1st of February of 2022, you began something new that was related to your immediate environment, short distance travel, your siblings, and that is related to neighbors and also to teaching. And these are all coming to a head. They are culminating and illuminating all of these matters to you. Now, Saturn is in this area conjunct the full moon, and it's allowing you the opportunity to reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, disciplining, and reauthorizing the changes that were brought upon you through Mars and Uranus and the North Node in relation to your day-to-day routine and how you are of service to others. Now, Aquarius has this idea that they know everything. They're quite idealistic and opinionated. They love their freedom. They're very responsible and stubborn. And they like to help society at large and the group. They love friendships, and they're interested in scientific and rebellious and liberating ways. And you will very much infuse this in the way of speaking and teaching and talking and matters related to your siblings and your immediate environment. So the balance for you, dear Sagittarians, on this full moon is matters related to early childhood development and teaching, matters related to your siblings and your immediate environment, balanced out with your philosophies and religions and foreign travel and foreign travelers and belief systems. So it's very much about communications, higher tertiary thinking versus lower tertiary thinking, universities, school. It's that kind of balance. How do I communicate in a very basic way, and how do I communicate in a very philosophical, higher tertiary kind of manner? Dear Sagittarians, thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Leo season. Before I forget, on the 20th of August at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins his 7-month journey in the sign of Gemini, which only ends on the 25th of March. And for you, dear Sagittarians, this is a time for you to look at your relationships, marriage partners, business partner, best friends, live-in lovers. And from the 30th of October until the 12th of January, Mars is retrograde here. So there could be fighting and arguing relating to relationships. There's a sense that there's a lot of activity and heat, mental activity, curiosity, communications. You may feel a little scattered and changeable, but very expressive and opinionated. There's a sense of partners being very powerful and dynamic and ambitious and assertive and determined and courageous. There's a sense of a lot of desire regarding relationships, a lot of bravery, a lot of energy, a lot of force, a lot of pioneering new ways in your relationships that will be activated during this time. Thank you for joining me, dear Sagittarius. Be blessed, take care, enjoy your Leo season. Bye for now. Hey, dear Capricorns, thank you for joining me on this Leo season. For you, the Leo season activates an area of your life that very much relates to irrevocable changes, transformation, the phoenix arising from the ashes. It relates to what resources other people provide you, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial. And in this area, that can also relate to anxieties and traumas and poisons. There's a sense that the very positive expression is infused. There's a sense that there's a lot of action around this, that you're very firm and consequential and very much aware of your personal perspective in regards to what it is you receive from others. There's a sense of loyalty and constancy and solidity that you'll be experiencing. There's a sense that there's a transformative fire energy of life and spirit, as though others have a core being that is very creative and very warm-hearted and heartfelt and can assist you. There's a sense that very self-motivated, self-centered persons concerned with their self-identity and have a lot of pride and a lot of confidence. And these people are or these resources are infused with regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, and glory, and are also very awe-inspiring to you. There's a sense that these resources you receive from others are filled with light and generosity and warmth and a natural radiance. And there's also a sense that these resources that you receive from others are teaching you or showing to you that living by one's heart versus one's mind, opening up to the inner self, connecting with the heart is the way forward. Now you might find the person's providing these resources to be very controlling in their nature and very imposing. And you may feel that they're not receptive in receiving, that they are just purely giving. And you may feel that sometimes they're a little bit abrupt or impulsive also in so doing. And yeah, this very much reflects also matters related to grief and trauma that you may want to let go, and you may be receiving the support from others to assist you with this change. The new moon on the 28th of July will invite you to set new intentions in this regard. Take some time to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries, and stop so that your angels can catch up with you and guide you before you head up into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct this new moon, and it will aid you in expressing, or at least in thinking about, your new intentions. And this is a really good time for you to rest, think, reflect, and observe what the new moon has to offer you, how you can express detoxing, getting rid of traumas and fears and anxieties, so that you can allow more intimacy and receiving into your life. Now, for you, dear Capricorns, this dynamic new activity of the Uranian beginnings and changes illuminate the great awakening within you in regards to you finding your joy and your bliss and your inner happiness, and the sense of wanting to be romantic and expressing yourself, and all matters to having fun and going on holidays. There's a sense that this is where you are evolving in a very fast way. There's a sense that you're being catapulted forward in your evolution, with bullish Mars in Taurus there, and the North Node and Uranus all in this area. So prepare yourself, because on the 2nd of August at 1:54, we have this triple conjunction of Mars and Uranus at 1842 degrees, while the node at 18 degrees and 37 minutes of Taurus at 1:54 a.m. on the 2nd of August are coming to a head. There's a crescendo of changes occurring for you regarding how you have fun in your life, and matters related to holidays and resting and anything to do with fun and creative projects and working with children. Here you will find there will be surprises and liberations and rebellions and individuation, a sense of uniqueness, innovation, and new technologies will present themselves in terms of how you can be creative. It'll be like there's an X-ray vision accompanying a mini wall, so that you don't resist the old ways, but you continue on the new ways that help you push you into this great awakening and awaken this into its fruition. This is an initiatory period, which is a bedrock of a new foundation for your destiny and your future, because the North Node will bring in karmic events that will set the tone for the next 18 years. There's a graffiti I recently saw that described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing this upcoming rebellion within each of us. And it read, "The Great Reset. They will not own you, and they will be unhappy." So there's a sense that don't worry what the ego wants and what other people want. It's not about their happiness. It's about your happiness. And it's about resetting your happiness and resisting what you think maybe other people expect from you or the material world expects from you. It's about resetting and connecting with your own inner great awakening and discovering your joy and bliss. Now, Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. to go retrograde on the 29th of July at 10:38 p.m. And for you, dear Capricorns, this very much begins a cycle which will continue until the 24th of November, when Jupiter is retrograde in this area. And it relates to home and family life, your place of living, your unconscious, your roots, your ancestry, your place of safety. And here you will infuse wisdom, belief systems, philosophies, religions, higher teachings through Jupiter in this area to aid you as you reflect upon your place of living. On the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m., we have and celebrate the full moon cycle. This is always a culmination and an illumination of what began, in this case, on the 1st of February of 2022 for you in regards to your finances, how you invest your money, what your self-esteem and self-confidence expresses in relation to your finances and your value systems. And Aquarius, being the house ruling this, is currently aided by Saturn retrograde in its dignity in Aquarius. And this is allowing you an opportunity to reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, and redisciplining and reauthorizing all the changes that Mars has brought into your life in regards to the need for having fun and enjoying bliss and being creative during this time. So Aquarius has the sense of being quite idealistic and opinionated and freedom-loving and responsible and stubborn. And you may feel this towards how you manage your finances, that there's a sense that you want to be very scientific and rebellious and very liberating in terms of how you manage this. The full moon for you, the balance here is for dear Capricorn to look at how it is that you receive resources from your own self-worth and your value systems and from your financial investments. What money's in your pocket, what possessions do you own versus what resources do you receive from others, emotional, financial, spiritual, and physical. This is the balance that you'll be working on. And this new awakening in regards to how you want to express yourself through joy and through relaxation and through making love and through new projects or children will aid you in this balance. On the 20th of August, dear Capricorns, at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins its 7-month journey into the sign of Gemini, which it only ends on 25th of March of 2023. And for you, dear Capricorns, this very much relates to all matters in terms of how you are of service to others, how anybody is of service to you, any staff, any acute illnesses that you may experience, any diseases that you may have, or any pets that you may have. This could be a time where you're fighting inflammation or any infections where there may be a lot of heat in your body. There's a sense that you're quite curious and maybe feel a bit scattered about your day-to-day routine. There's a sense of courageous and brave and pioneering, powerful, dynamic ways in regards to any staff that you employ or how it is that you are of service to others. Dear Capricorn, thank you for joining me on this Leo season. Be blessed. Take care. Be well. Bye for now. Dear Aquarians, thank you for joining me on this Leo season forecast. For you, dear Aquarians, the focus of this Leo sun energy as it transits from the 22nd of July through to the 23rd of August has everything to do and is very much related to your relationships, business relationships, marriage relationships, any contracts with anybody, live-in lovers, best friends. Here you'll find a lot of positive expression coming in through relationships, very action-orientated, firm and consequential characters who have their personal interest as their perspective. These are people who are very loyal, constant, and solid. This transformative fire energy of life and spirit of your core being, your creativeness, is infused through these relationships in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way. These people are coming into your life are self-motivated, self-centered, and they're concerned with their question of self-identity. They're very strong at their core. They stand tall. They are proud and confident. And they infuse regality, brilliance, majesty, magnificence, glory, and awe-inspiring ways into your life. There's a sense of radiance, warmth, light, and generosity that comes naturally to them. And it's as though these relationships are keeping you warm in a very kind of gently contained, burning, glowing coals kind of warmth. And there's also the sense that these relationships are persons who live from their heart versus from their mind. You may find that these people may be a little controlling or imposing in their ways. And you may also find that they're not very receptive. They could exhibit some abruptness towards you and be quite impulsive too. So this new moon happening on the 28th of July invites you to set your new intentions regarding relationships. It's time for you to take some time out to rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you and guide you in terms of how you fit into these relationships before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct the new moon and will aid you in expressing to the others, or they expressing to you, at least thinking about how these intentions will evolve you and your personality. So take the time to rest, think, and reflect and observe what this new moon has to offer you. So for you, dear Aquarians, the changes, the great awakening that's occurring for you, the liberation that you're experiencing with the bullish Mars in Taurus, the Earth warrior, that is assisting you in continuing the changes as you catapult yourself forward in your evolution related to matters related to home, family, where you feel safe, your father, your roots, your ancestry, your location, your place of living. The North Node, which is your future destiny, is beckoning you to prepare yourself for this triple conjunction, which is exact on the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. Mars and Uranus are at 18 degrees 42 of Taurus, the North Node at 18 degrees 37 of Taurus. And this builds a crescendo on the 2nd of August of changes, surprises, liberations, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and any new technologies within your home and family life. It's like an X-ray vision accompanying you, like a mini war, which requires you to push such great awakenings into fruition in your home and family life in the sense of inner security. This is the initiation of the bedrock of the new foundation of your destiny and the future that is very karmic in its events on the 2nd of August, which will set the tone for the next 18 years. I recently saw a graffiti which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing the upcoming rebellion within each of us. And it talks about the great reset. And it talks about how not to resist this. You don't want to resist and stay in the old status quo. You want a great reset. You don't want to be owned by anybody in regards of your home and your family life. You want to be liberated and happy and reset your sense of security around home and family matters. Now, Jupiter's goes stationary on the 27th of July, 10:39 p.m., and then retrograde on the 29th of July, 10:38 p.m. And for you, dear Aquarians, this is going to happen in an era related to your immediate environment, matters related to siblings and neighbors, to paperwork, communications, thoughts, thinking, communicating, teaching. And here you'll be reviewing all wisdom and belief systems and philosophies and religions that you can incorporate into your thinking all the way through until 24th of November 2022. And on the 4th of August at 8:58 a.m., Mercury enters this very practical, pragmatic, witty, rational, insightful domain of communications in the sign of Virgo. And for you, this is occurring in an area of your life related to the resources that you receive from others. This could also be in relation to any anxieties or any fears that you have or any traumas that you want to let go that are blocking you from being close to others and close to yourself. Intimacy is where you are receiving the resources, financial, emotional, spiritual, or financial from others. And this is really a good time from the 4th of August to the 25th of August to allow this into your life. It will come with ease. Receiving this could also, relate to grief and loss and inheritance, but somehow there'll be a lot of clarity around this, and it will be experienced with a lot of swiftness and ease. So on the 11th of August, Venus shines its light into your house of relationships. So this is an area where you'll find very demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expressions of love coming your way. These people may not be receptive to you returning your love, and they may be very impulsive, but certainly they're going to be showering you with a lot of love. And then on the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, we celebrate the peak of the lunation cycle of the full moon. This is where matters come to a head and are illuminated regarding a relationship that started or began on the 1st of February 2022. And here we're sitting with a situation that Saturn retrograde is conjunct the full moon, and it's allowing you to look at how you can reflect upon restabilizing, restructuring, and disciplining and reauthorizing yourself in regards to your health, your personality, your physical appearance. There's a lot of energy around what began on that 1st of February relating to your physical health and how you shine out into the world. This sense of that putting energy towards yourself and not the relationships is the way to go. Restructure your health and your exercise program and what you're eating and anything and everything to do with what gives you health. And there's a sense, of course, with Aquarius having this idealistic, opinionated, freedom-loving, but very responsible and stubborn way of looking after yourself. So this full moon wants to remind you that matters related to your home that are changing, where you feel the sense of independence and the great awakening, are assisting you in finding the balance between what it is that you do to look after yourself and your physical health and your personality, and what energies you give towards the relationships that you're in, the commitments that you've made towards relationships. So the axis is really your health versus relationships, and you want to have a 50-50 balance around the full moon. Now, on the 20th of August at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins a 7th-month journey in the sign of Gemini, and it only ends on the 25th of March of 2023. And for you, dear Aquarians, this is occurring in an area of your life that relates to giving love of yourself, experiencing bliss and joy and romance, and wanting to go on holidays, enjoying sports, maybe matters related to children and having fun. It's a very creative, expressive area of your life. And you may find that you will have a lot of courage to pioneer in this area. Also, that there may be a lot of communications. You may feel a bit opinionated and scattered, but certainly there'll be a lot of activity, maybe even arguing or assertiveness or a sense of drive and ambition in terms of how you can act out this romantic, loving nature that you have that begins new projects and enjoys sports or children or having fun and finding your joy. Dear Aquarius, thank you for joining me today on this Leo season forecast. May it be a blessed season for you. Take care. Bye for now. Dear Pisces, thank you for joining me on this Leo season forecast. The positive expression of the action-orientated, firm and consequential energies of Leo are activating for you your sense of how you are of service to others, or how others that you employ are of service of you. This can also relate to any acute illnesses if you have any. This can relate to any pets if you have any. And it very much relates to your day-to-day routine, where you will find that there is a lot of loyalty and consistency and solidity. There's a sense that your core being will be activated in a very warm-hearted and heartfelt way, in a very transformative, fiery, energetic life and spirit type of creative way. There's a sense that either the staff that you employ or how you are of service to others is very self-motivated, very self-centered, very concerned with your question of self-identity in terms of how you're of service to others. There's a strong core. You're standing tall, you're proud, and you are confident. And here there's a sense of regality and brilliance and majesty infused into the magnificence and the glory and the awe-inspiring ways that you can be of service to others or others to you, or matters related to any disease that you need to sort out or new pet that you may have. There's a sense of a lot of warmth, generosity, and light infusing this area of your life. And there's a sense that it's a warmth that you're creating, like a glowing coal that is contained and active in this area. Now is the time to open your hearts and work through your heart and not through your mind. There's a sense that you may come across as very parental, or the staff member to you, very parental, very controlling or imposing. And at the same time, there's a sense that you're not very receptive, and you may be quite abrupt and impulsive with all of the giving that you're doing. Now, the new moon at 5 degrees of Leo on the 28th of July is a time for you to set new intentions. It's a time for you to take a rest and reflect and recharge your batteries and stop so that your angels can catch up with you before you head off into the next new moon cycle. Mercury is conjunct this new moon, and it will aid you in expressing, or at least in communicating or thinking or writing about your new intentions in relation to the matters I discussed. So rest, think, and reflect and observe what the new moon has to offer for you. And dear Pisces, the changes, the innovation that you are experiencing, the Uranian new beginnings, the Taurian bullish Mars, which is like an earth warrior, which is continuing to assist you and catapult you forward in your evolution, has everything to do with your neighborhood, your communication skills, how you teach, how you your relations with your siblings, all the paperwork that you've got to sort through. There's a sense that the North Node being there is pushing you into a future destiny, which by the 2nd of August at 1:54 a.m. will become very clear to you, with Mars and Uranus at 1842 and the node at 18 degrees of Taurus. There's a sense of a crescendo of change, surprises, liberations, rebellion, individuation, uniqueness, innovation, and new technology will present itself. Perhaps you're starting something new on Facebook or Instagram. Perhaps you're communicating or teaching in a new way. Perhaps you're taking a course. Perhaps you're relocating in terms of your environment. Perhaps something huge is changing with one of your siblings or neighbors. There's a sense that there's like an X-ray vision accompanying like a mini war that requires you to push through this great awakening into fruition so that your thought process is completely overhauled. And this is the initiation of a bedrock of the new foundations of your destiny and your future. This is a karmic event that will set the tone for the next 18 years. I saw a graffiti which described this fixed bullish resistance to the status quo, symbolizing this upcoming rebellion within each of us. And it talks about the great reset, where it says that nobody will own you and you will be happy, resisting your old ways so that you can reset and think in your own new way and liberating way, is what this new moon will offer you. Jupiter goes stationary on the 27th of July at 10:39 p.m. to go retrograde. On the 29th of July. And for you, dear Pisces, this very much relates to looking at your self-worth, your value systems, your finances, and you will be looking at the wisdom, the belief systems, the philosophies, the religions, any kind of tertiary educations that will help you, even matters related to foreigners possibly, because Jupiter does rule foreigners, investing in foreign countries perhaps, or matters that are wise and expansive. So from the 29th of July until the 24th of November, Jupiter is highlighting this through its retrogradation in this area of your life. On the 4th of August at 8:58 a.m., Mercury enters the very practical and pragmatic, witty, rational, insightful domain of the sign of Virgo. And for you, dear Pisces, this relates to relationships. You will be meeting or spending more time with, or finding that you can communicate really well, very witty, very insightful, very rational, very pragmatic with whoever your friends or partners or marriage partners are. Then on the 11th of August, we have Venus entering the sign of Leo. This will add to your day-to-day routine and how you are of service to others, or matters related to any disease if you've got, or your pets, or any staff that you employ, the sense of demonstrative, dramatic, exuberant expression of love. Perhaps you just thank the staff that you employ with a big cake and a bunch of flowers. We then have on the 12th of August at 3:36 a.m. at 19 degrees of Aquarius, the full moon. And this is always the time in the lunation cycle where things come to a peak. There's a sense that what you started on the 1st of February 2022 is illuminated and culminated and comes to a head. And for you, dear Pisces, this relates to withdrawing and finding some time alone, isolated, where you can look at any losses that you, or perceived losses that you may feel in the material world are being taken away from you, or it's time for you to let go. This area of your life is where secrets are kept, and these are mostly secrets you keep from yourself. In other words, this is a place for you to connect to your subconscious and to your soul and to the spiritualness of who you are. Self-renounce the material world, withdraw a little bit, and then have a look, see how you can reflect upon the opportunity to restabilize, restructure, discipline, and reauthorize those things in your life that cause you to feel like there's an ending of a cycle, or require for you to be on your own. So this could be very much related to this liberating new sense of thinking and writing and talking and communicating, or liberating situations in terms of neighbors and siblings and your environment. So there's a sense that you might feel very idealistic or opinionated, certainly freedom loving, but also responsible and stubborn when it comes to stepping away. You do this because you do want to help society and the group, but you want to do it from behind the scenes. And friendships are very important to you, especially those that are people who are rebellious or scientific or liberating, who can help you or you help them from behind the scenes. So the full moon for you, dear Pisces, is very much related to how you work from behind the scenes, hidden with the spiritual resources, the help of the angels, versus how you are of service to others in the material, real world, and what it is that you do on a day-to-day routine. And how does this affect any chronic illnesses that you have, or any acute illnesses? This is the balance that you want to be working out on the 12th of August. Now, on the 20th of August at 9:57 a.m., Mars begins a 7-month journey in the sign of Gemini, which only ends on the 25th of March of 2023. And for you, dear Pisces, this is everything to do with home and family life, with what makes you feel safe, your roots, your ancestry, your genetics, the place of living. And you will find that there may be a lot of arguing or fighting or assertiveness and ambition and drive and action around your home and activity, your sense of curiosity and communications. You may feel a bit scattered and changeable, but there is still courage and pioneering and bravery and assertion and dynamism and power that is infused into your home life during these 7 months as Mars journeys through this area of your chart. Dear Pisces, thank you so much for joining me today. Be blessed and take care. Bye for now.